Alright, what is up, Wretched Nation? Today we are on the way to have dinner with my wife and her parents. They're out in town. I had to do some errands. Actually, I had to run down the post office, drop some orders off. Of course, the GoPro battery was dead for all of this. I'm not doing a good job of keeping my batteries charged, and man, the batteries on these things don't last long. But anyways, in a previous video I talked about why I bought this 2018 roadglide, or what led me up to that decision, not necessarily why I bought the specific one or the features or anything like that, just why I needed a bagger. But in that video I talked about doing some horse trading to get a trade-in on this, and we're going to go over that now. I got some time, I'm taking a quick trip. So I had a 1981 C10, Chevy C10. Technically it was a GMC Sierra, and but they're all the same thing. I got it because I needed a truck and I didn't want something new, did not want to pay that price, and I thought getting an older truck would be cool. I remember my dad having, a C10. He actually at the time was still driving it. He bought his new in '86, and probably he drove it all up until maybe 2015, 2016, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, I bought mine for like $2,800, drove it around a little bit, drove it around for like a year and a half, and of course, it was old and tired, 350 trans, 305 engine, and the transmission finally went out. I knew it was going out, but finally gave up. It actually gave up one night. I just got off second shift, so I was leaving at midnight, and it had given up. I had a little bit of transmission fluid on me. I circled back. It was right as I was getting ready to leave work. It just quit and didn't want to shift. So I filled it up with as much fluid as I had. And what I had to do was take off in first, and when it was time to go into second, I kind of had to let off the gas, shift forward into second, and just leave it there. I did not want to go into third at all. So I drove home in second gear, not horrible, in the middle of the night, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. Wasn't a whole lot of traffic. But anyways, long story short, or short story long actually, I started messing with the truck. We built the transmission, new torque converter, ended up swapping in a junkyard 350 that was a piece of shit, but I paid like $250 for it. Got to learn a lot, and ended up building another 350. I got a guy to do it. Engine's okay, I guess, but it was just a lot of bullshit having to deal with him, and just a lot of stuff that wasn't quite right. That motor's still in the truck today, but just not really a fan of the situation that I had to deal with. But put gears in it, and just your basic old little street truck, nothing perfect, but had a lot of fun with it. Wasn't able to really take it to the track and have as much fun with it as I wanted to. To take it to the mall and back was about a tank of gas, so that was no fun. The electric was shoddy, and just all that stuff, so I just couldn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. So a buddy of mine used to ride with, still hang out and everything, he's not currently riding, but he had an 01 Screaming Eagle Y-Glide, the ones that didn't have any performance stuff, but they were show ready bikes off the showroom floor. Lots of chrome, nice accents, beautiful paint, stuff like that. And it was a nice bike, and he was looking to try to get rid of it, but he wanted to have something fun, and he basically helped me the whole time with my truck. So it was just as part of sweat and tears for him as it was me, minus the money. But we ended up trading, and I was like, well, it's going to be a lot easier for me to take a bike to trade in on another bike than it is the stupid truck. So trying to sell that truck was difficult. especially with my schedule, it's hard to meet up with people, and everyone just wants to trade stuff. So I took that bike, and a mutual friend of ours wanted that bike, and he had, I believe it was either a 10 or an 08 Super Glide, and it had some problems, definitely leaking some oil, different kind of issues, and I didn't really want to deal with that. So I told him, you know, we'll see what happens. I didn't really want his bike, but we'll try to figure something out. And I went to the dealer, told them the situation, and they told me, without even seeing these bikes, they told me they'd give me $45 for the Wide Glide and $5,000 for the Super Glide. So I'm like, okay, you know, it's not bad. We'll definitely do that. And so I told my buddy, I was like, okay. I said, I don't want to take possession of your Super Glide. You know, the titles were all kind of signed out, but there's no reason. I didn't want us to just swap straight up and then, you know, me take his title up there and try to get all this horse trading done that wasn't in my name and stuff like that. So I was like, you just trade the bike in and you have the Wide Glide. So that's what he did. He rode up there with me. My wife and another friend went up, and we picked this bike up. And the funny thing was, when we dropped off his bike, we went in, got the salesman. The salesman come out and was like, all right, you know, I got to run out here and get the exact mileage and check the bin, stuff like that. I said, okay. We went to walk outside, and he forgot a pen, so we went back inside, and I see a big puddle of oil up under the Super Glide. And I was like, man, alright. So I ran out there real fast and moved the bike to another parking spot, and I was like, okay, here we go. So I moved the bike, and he come out, you know, didn't think nothing of it, didn't know anything. So I kind of duped the salesman on that, but it wasn't like I was duping him on anything. I mean, they sent the bike off to auction anyways. They weren't going to sell that bike. They weren't going to sell either one of those bikes. Neither one of those were going to be on the showroom floor. So got that traded, got that all done. And then the funny thing was, got ready to do the deal, or finish up the paperwork, and the guy, I guess, had a co-signer when he bought the bike. And even though the title was clear and free now, that co-signer's name was on the title, so that person had to sign off on it. And of course, they went out there, and he never said anything, so no one ever knew. So I told the dealership, I was like, okay, you know, I know the co-signer, no big deal. If need be, you know, we'll come back another day, we'll figure this out. And they said, no, of course they're not going to want to do that. They said, just have the co-signer come up here and sign it. It'll be okay, it'll be okay. All right, you know, I'm not the person on that title. That bike's not mine. The bike was never in my name. That's on you. And no, it'll be fine. Just get him up here. I was like, okay. And of course, it took like 2 weeks for them to get up there, and the dealership constantly hounded me. And I kept telling them, I was like, hey, I told y'all the deal. You know, don't get mad at me. It's like they'll get up there. I just don't know when. You know, they were working late nights, and they had kids, so they couldn't just go up there whenever they wanted to. So finally they got up there, the deal was done, and it is what it is. But I just wanted to know, you know, have you guys done any horse trading? Have you guys done any weird stuff where you trade up? Or, you know, obviously I didn't trade up and get the bike for free, but that $5,000 was my down payment. I elected not to put any cash on top because I had a truck at the time that was just about to be paid off. So what I did is I took the money that I had and put at the truck and paid the truck off. So that eliminated a payment altogether, which in my head is smarter than just trying to get a little bit lower payment on this bike. Instead of having two payments, I stayed at one, and this one payment was only a little bit more than what my truck payment was, so not too bad. But ended up in a good deal. But anyways, have you guys done any wacky, weird trades, or got, you know, something where you traded up a few times and got something really cool or killer? But just want to see if you guys have gotten away with anything like that. So comment below if you have, or, you know, whatever. But if you liked the video, please hit that like button, subscribe. Hoping to do a whole lot more videos, and as always, keep it wretched.